Most men never realize the exact moment they start losing control. They think it happens because of a small mistake. But attraction doesn't fade from a mistake. It fades the exact moment you make another person's attention a necessity instead of a bonus. At first, everything feels normal. Someone gives you attention and your confidence rises. But the danger begins when validation becomes a survival tool. Once you need approval, your behavior changes invisibly. You overthink delayed replies and become overly available. Human psychology has a built-in radar for this. People can feel it when your emotional stability depends on their text message. They sense it in how quickly you abandon your priorities just to please them. And here is the brutal truth. Attraction grows best in freedom, not dependency. The moment your happiness relies entirely on someone else, you stop being a man with a path. You stop making decisions based on your vision, and you start making them based on fear. Fear of losing them, and fear of being left behind. Most men spend years trying to master charm, clever words, or compliments. They think saying the right thing is the ultimate key. They waste energy trying to figure out what others want to hear, completely ignoring what truly shapes human perception. What they fail to understand is a foundational truth of behavioral psychology. Charm can capture a moment, but a clear purpose commands absolute respect. A fleeting moment of charm can never replace the weight of an unshakable character. Think about the difference between two men. The first man is constantly watching reactions, seeking approval, and modifying himself just to be liked. His energy is desperate, always wanting confirmation that he is doing everything right. Now look at the second man. He is anchored to a mission. He has goals that demand discipline, ambitions that require focus, and responsibilities that give his life genuine weight. His attention is directed toward building something meaningful. When a man has a genuine purpose, he carries a completely different frequency. He doesn't need to force outcomes because his life has direction. And in human nature, direction creates absolute certainty and quiet confidence. People naturally respect and are drawn to someone who wakes up with a mission long before anyone chooses to notice them. This kind of focus is difficult to fake, and because it is genuine, it commands immediate respect from everyone around. This brings us directly to a psychological law that most men completely misunderstand: the law of scarcity. Human beings naturally value what is limited more than what is constantly available and guaranteed to them. Most men believe they must always be available to remain important. They think replying instantly and constantly making themselves accessible will increase attraction. But very often, the exact opposite happens in real life. The more available men become, the more predictable they are. And the more predictable they are, the less curiosity they create. Curiosity is one of the strongest forces in human psychology, and predictability kills it instantly. Imagine a man who has goals, responsibilities, and a meaningful life. He is not constantly available because his life contains other priorities. He values his time and focus. As a result, his attention becomes intentional rather than unlimited. When your time has boundaries, your presence carries actual weight. Setting boundaries does not mean playing games or acting cold. It means showing that your self-respect is non-negotiable and that your personal standards are fixed. A man with no boundaries teaches people that his standards are completely flexible. He tolerates behavior that makes him uncomfortable simply because he fears losing approval. But respect can never grow where personal boundaries do not exist. Strong boundaries are not about controlling other people. They are about controlling what you allow into your life. When a man has healthy boundaries, he doesn't need to argue or threaten. He simply knows what aligns with his core values. And when something consistently violates those standards, he is willing to step back. This brings us to the ultimate test of power: the willingness to walk away from anything that compromises your fundamental self-respect and inner peace. Most men fail here because they are terrified of loss. They tolerate disrespect, swallow their standards, and cling tightly to what is draining them, all out of fear of being alone or facing temporary rejection from others. But the fear of losing someone is often more destructive than actually losing them. Fear changes behavior, makes you desperate, and forces you to abandon your values. The moment you fear loss, you give away all your personal power. True power doesn't belong to the man who is desperate to hold on. It belongs to the man who is willing to lose anything that compromises his integrity. The moment you stop fearing rejection, you completely stop chasing validation. And the moment you stop chasing, you reclaim your true value. Your presence suddenly becomes calm, strong, and deeply authentic. You stop performing for an audience and simply start standing firmly in your own reality. Remember this fundamental truth: the men who command the greatest respect are never the ones who chase attention. They are the ones who are completely comfortable walking their own path, with or without anyone's approval. If this analysis resonated with you, drop a comment below sharing your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe for more deep psychological breakdowns, and never build your identity on someone else's approval. See you in the next breakdown.